Good day to you one and all, and welcome back to the channel. Now, this video is actually scripted for once, instead of me just rambling on. Now, this video is about why I dislike Twitter. I'm hardly the first person to have a little bit of a moan about Twitter, and I won't be the last. But I think that, at least by discussing what's wrong with Twitter in my point of view, that some good could come of it. After all, the first step towards solving a problem is to talk about it. Before I go further, it should be noted that almost everything I say here is just opinion. Your opinion will almost certainly differ at least a little bit from mine, and that's a good thing. Just remember to be respectful, okay? With that out of the way, let's begin. Part 1. Toxicity. This is really the overarching theme of my complaints. The toxicity of Twitter is very well known, I think. If you've been on Reddit, then you'll almost certainly come across a meme complaining about Twitter. I've made a few myself. And speaking of Reddit, while that platform can be toxic in its own ways, Twitter seems to take the crown for most toxic platform. Why is this? Well, I think that the reason for this is the constraints on expression that are built into Twitter's functionality. Twitter, as you may or may not know, for the longest time had a 140 character limit. And even though this has been increased to 280, that limit still isn't often enough to articulate arguments with a necessary level of detail or nuance, so to speak. Hence, most discussions on Twitter are constrained to oversimplified descriptions of ideas, and also that helps, I think, make it more convenient for people to just name-call and make bad faith allegations, instead of actually trying to calmly discuss a topic. And this is even worse with political Twitter, which I spent a lot of time in before I deleted my Twitter account, because politics is actually another interest of mine, along with locomotives, obviously, if you've checked out the rest of my channel. I actually took a political science course a couple of semesters ago at college and got an A on it, so that should tell you what my thoughts are a little bit. Now, on the point of leaving Twitter, which I guess will be part 2, everything I've discussed so far is why I left Twitter. It's extremely toxic. It doesn't take too long for most arguments, especially political arguments, to devolve into people calling each other Nazis or communists or some type of bigot. It's just awful. I used to enjoy Twitter, honestly, back when I first joined, but it just got worse and worse and worse over time, especially when COVID came along and dropped a tanker of the most volatile explosive fluid you can think of all over the current political debate. Now, honestly, ever since I deactivated my Twitter account, I've honestly been pretty happy. I mean, obviously, this year and last have been very difficult for a lot of people in a variety of ways, but deleting Twitter, well, that helped make things a little easier, at least for me. So, with that said, I would now like to turn things over to you. Do you feel as I feel that Twitter is ridiculously toxic, or am I just being a little bit of a baby? Should I talk about other platforms like Reddit or Instagram, because they've been known to be toxic in some ways as well? And Would you be interested in political analysis videos from me? Now, to be very clear, this wouldn't be me being a pundit, where I would take a side on an issue and call everyone I don't like names or anything like that. They would be more explainer videos. You've probably seen a few from different channels. That's content I'm interested in making, and if you'd like to see it, then I'm more than happy to oblige. The comment section is a thing, and comments, in other words, feedback from you, would be very helpful now on questions such as these. As you may or may not know, I do read my comments, but, please keep it civil. So, thank you for listening to me ramble, even though I wrote out a script, and I'll see you next time.